It says it's not. It says it's empty, and I don't know why. Okay, so let's do some yoga, shall we? Let's see where we get to. Okay, can you hear me? No? Yes?
Yes, I can hear.
You can hear me. Okay,
Definitely.
thank you. Thank you, that's perfect. I completely rely on you because I've only got one screen that I can see you. Okay, let's begin. So wherever we've come from this morning, or wherever you're practicing this, we're going to do a gentle yoga practice, maybe a little bit of strength building. We'll see how we go. So yoga for the over 60s, what does that mean? You can do yoga at any age, and you can do any kind of yoga at any age, but this class is especially with sort of in mind different conditions that we get when we're a little bit older. So maybe a bit less weight bearing on the joints, and maybe a bit more of a focus on mobility and maintaining that, keeping strength building going, because we can build strength however old we are, but also mixing today's practice so you have the full practice. So we're going to do some dynamic movement, some gentle movement, some balancing, some breathing, and some relaxation. Okay, so we'll start sitting. Take a few moments just to relax the shoulders over the hips, maybe drop the chin, relax the face. And before we begin any breath practice, just notice how we're breathing naturally. How is the breath? And sometimes we add that moment's pause just at the top and the bottom of the breath. You can do that if you like for a couple of rounds. And then I wanted to do just a minute or so of ujjayi breathing. So I know some of you have done that with me. It's like as if you were misting up glass. So it's like that sort of lifting of the lower part of the throat. It sounds a little bit like kind of a seashell or wave sound. Now, if you've got any issues with blood pressure, if you find this breath practice not comfortable, just leave it and just let yourself breathe normally. Relax everything and just find a nice, even, steady breath. If you can do that ujjayi breath with the closing of the throat, do the same thing as if you're misting up glass, but with your mouth closed. So you're just allowing a little bit less air to go through, which if you feel comfortable, can slow the breath down. So obviously if you feel dizzy at all, if it doesn't feel comfortable, then just let it go, as always. If you are able just to allow everything else to be still, just a few moments of that narrowing throat breath, ujjayi breathing, we call it. So ujjayi breathing slows the breath down. So many benefits of slow breathing. We're just doing a minute or so here. You can keep it going throughout the practice if you like. I know some of you are familiar with it. But if it doesn't work for you, again, as I've said, let it go. The benefits of kind of slowing the breath down can help to regulate the nervous system. And also when you're doing more dynamic movement, you can find that you can get a little bit more power, a little bit more strength, because the body knows the oxygen is coming. It's utilizing it in a nice, even, regular way. So we can stay with the ujjayi breath if you like for another couple of moments. And then we're going to move a little bit with breath. So anytime you want to come back to that ujjayi breathing, feel free. Again, I know some of you are quite familiar with it. I'm just going to change the position of my legs. So if you've got your legs out in front of you and you're comfortable, that's fine. I'm just going to cross the other way to even out. And we're going to do a little bit of warming up with some circular movements. So first of all, just starting with the hands. So I'm looking at you here, but I can see some of you over here. That's why I'm looking over there as well. So circling the wrists, turning one way and then the other, maybe moving the fingers and the thumbs. And then start to move from the elbows. So maybe bringing the hands in and then out again. Maybe turning the hand one way and then the other. So just warming up, and also doing a little scan of your hands, your wrists, your elbows. Do you have any tenderness there? Do you need to be a bit more gentle? We always try not to kind of push into pain in yoga. If we feel sensitivity, we can just kind of soften and slow things down a little bit. And then we're going to make some circles with the arms. So just bringing one arm in front of you and then up and around. We'll do that another couple of times. So lifting the arm up and around. Once more, lifting up and around. Good. And then we're going to change direction. So this time with breath, inhale up to the top, maybe a little side stretch. And then exhale, bring the hand down in front of you. And again, inhale up to the top. Exhale around. So if your breath is slower or quicker than mine, that's fine. Inhale to the top. Exhale down. Good. Take the hand just lightly towards the shoulder or onto the shoulder, and then just circle the elbow. And here you might want to just relax your neck. Any tension around the upper back, the shoulders. I had a technical issue, which always makes my everything kind of go like that. So yeah, it's been a year now, hasn't it? Technical issues. Okay, so rest that arm down. Take a moment just to notice if the arm that you've moved, the shoulder that you've moved, feels different to the one that you haven't. And then we'll do that one. So taking it up, actually no, across the body first, and then up and around. So really gentle, especially if there's any soreness or tenderness, just take it really easy. Yeah, and then change direction, and this time we'll move with breath. So we inhale up to the top, then exhale, take the arm in front of the body. Two more like that. Inhale up to the top, and then exhale. One more. Inhale up to the top. Exhale around. Good. And then again, take the fingertips onto the shoulder, and then just roll the elbow forwards and backwards. Sometimes get that like slight kind of crunch or clickety noise. Change direction. Yeah, good. Okay, so now we're ready to warm up with both hands. Lift the arms up, inhale. Hands come down through the midline as you exhale. Interlace the fingers. Push the palms forward. Lift up, big breath in. Exhale through the mouth. So maybe with that ujjayi breath. Yeah, good. And you might feel your tummy engage with the breathing as well. So let's do that as a flow. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands through the center. Interlace the fingers. Lean forward. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, out to the side. Yeah, as long or short as you like, doesn't matter. Inhale, up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, forwards and up. And then exhale. Good, well done. So the last part of our seated warm-up, just start to move your shoulders, your upper body around in a circle a little bit. So we're going to twist, but we're just going to warm up first. So from the waist around one way and then the other. And then again, I'm going to change the position of my legs, just take the legs out in front, and we can do a twist. So you can bring your arms up again, and then just turn to the left. Take the right hand down, left hand can come back out to the side. We're going to sit up nice and tall as you breathe in, and then drop the chin and move the eyes back as you exhale. So you come slowly back around. Inhale, lift up, and then turn to the other side. So the hips stay facing forward, and the hand comes down. Just be mindful that the shoulder isn't pulling Breathe in, lift from your tailbone up to the crown of your head, and then exhale, gently twist. Then back to the center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Yeah, good. So just want to do a bit of a transition. Now, if you're okay weight bearing on your knees, you can come over onto your knees. And if you're not, just take it really easy, gently coming up to stand. Yeah. So if you're coming onto your knees, you can do a little bit of cat's breath. First, you can take the tailbone up and then round the spine. And if you do that 3 or 4 or 5 times, if weight bearing on your knees is not happening today, it's absolutely fine. You just slowly make your way up. So if you ever feel a little bit unsteady, just think about the center of gravity and come up with an awareness of that. So if you're coming through your cat's breath and you know downward dog in your practice, you can come through that. Or you can just start to consider your center of gravity as you come up. So before you make the next move, where's my center of gravity? Coming up slowly. Well done. Good. So shift the weight from foot to foot, bending one knee and then the other. So last week I was talking about the transition from winter to spring. It really feels like spring has sprung today. So we are going to move now a little bit more dynamically. We'll do the same breath practice we did sitting down, but this time we're going to add in bending and straightening the knees. Yeah, and again, it can be really gentle, or if you feel quite strong, your hips will draw back, so you're using your thighs more. Yeah, if your knees come forward, it might feel a bit of a strain on the knees. So let's take the arms out to the side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down through the center again, interlacing the fingers, lean forward and lift up again, breathe in, and then exhale with that ujjayi, out to the side. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands come down through the center. Inhale, forwards and up. Lovely, and then exhale out to the side. Yeah, last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, forwards and up. And then exhale out to the side. Perfect. So just stand still for a moment. Have your feet underneath your hips. Maybe have a look at your toes. Lift your toes, spread them out. So as the weather gets warmer, it's really good to take your shoes and socks off as much as you can. I know sometimes people feel the cold. But you can have big fluffy socks on. It's just really good to move your toes. When you move your toes, you lift your heels. So we're going to do a little bit of balancing today. And you can use the wall to balance, as always, which might help you to feel calmer and find it a bit easier. But yeah, when we move our toes, we've got all these bones in the feet. And that really helps with our the communication up the legs. So if you've ever had reflexology, you'll know that the nerve endings in the feet correspond all the way up the body to the organs as well. So kind of keeping your feet healthy is super important, especially as we get older. So start to bring one foot forward and one foot back. Let's start with the right foot in front, left foot back. And hands on the hips. And we shift the weight forwards and backwards. So I teach this probably in every class. I'm really sorry if you're bored of it. But there's so much information. As you shift the weight back, does your hip move? As you shift the weight forward, does your hip move? Now let's start to add on. Lift the front toes. And then as you come forward, lift the back heel. Yeah, good. So keep doing this. And again, we're warming up the feet, coming forward, pushing off that foot. And then place the ball of the foot and the heel down. Now start to lift the big toe of the front foot and lift onto the heel. So if you want to mix it up, go a little bit quicker, bend the knees. If you want to keep it really subtle, keep your hands on your hips and just notice what happens. And if you feel unsteady, take your feet a bit wider. Yeah, good. So from here, choices, as always. You can take your foot further forward, bend the knee, make sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle, and then you can lift the back heel. So it's a lunge position, quite strong on this thigh. or you can stay grounded. Yeah, so check in with your breathing. How are you breathing? If the breath gets a bit laboured, stay grounded, make it easier on yourself. And then we're going to lift the arms up. So take the palms forward, so like you've got like a soft beach ball, arms gradually come out to the side. And then take a big breath in, puff the chest out, and as you exhale, just relax your elbows. Again, you might want to take your hands forward again as you inhale, and then as you exhale, just take the elbows out a little bit. So really gentle. Inhale again, and exhale. Now we're going to hold the hands in the air, and like we did at the beginning, just circle the wrists, find some movements through the fingers, through the thumbs. And then we're going to take the hands together and straighten both legs as you bring your hands to your heart. Now we're going to come into a balance. So you might already have that back heel lifted. If not, lift the back heel. Find a spot maybe out in front of you that doesn't move to look at. We call it a drishti. And then start to lift the back leg off the ground. So bring the knee forward. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can lift your arms into the air. And if you're wobbling around, hold onto the wall. Yeah. So we're going to hold it here. If you've really got this, start to circle the left knee around. Some of you will be able to do that, I know. Take another deep breath. Maybe let's all lift the arms up. And then exhale, take the hands down. Now notice your heartbeat. Maybe come back to that Ujjayi breath. Slow it down. Perfect. Okay, other side. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And one of the reasons I do this is because we usually have a bad side, one leg stronger than the other. Especially as we get older, we've all got I've got dodgy right knee. Like we've all got kind of one side that's different. So when we do this, hands on the hips, shifting the weight forward, shifting the weight back, we can notice. And this information just helps us when we're doing things like walking up the stairs, maybe when we're carrying things. Do we have patterns of movement that then cause like aches and pains in the body? Which we probably do. Are there certain muscles that are so used to tightening, they don't relax, and then we get pain? So subtle things like shifting the weight forward and backward helps us to notice if one thigh is stronger than the other, or one foot's weaker than the other. And then we know where we can help to build a bit of strength, so the muscles that are overcompensating can relax. Yeah, we call that somatics. I'll talk about that other classes. So lift again the toes, and then bring that foot flat and lift the back heel. You can come onto the big toe, and then shift back and lift the toes. So if you're feeling dynamic, go forward. I've got my feet hip width apart. Go forward and backward as if you're kind of rolling over your feet. Yeah, someone said to me the other day, their feet getting cramped because they haven't done any yoga all winter and their feet have been like bundled up in slippers and wintry boots. So if you've got like a tennis ball, you can sit after a warm bath or something and just roll the soles of your feet on a tennis ball. So we're going to take this into our balance, into our lunge. Again, you can take the foot back and bend the knee and make it stronger, more dynamic. Yeah, completely up to you. If that doesn't work, you feel unsteady, you feel anxious, bring the back foot in and be more grounded, yeah? So the left knee is bending, knee over the ankle, and we're going to take the arms out. So it's like that opening out, lifting the chest, lift your arms up. And then as you exhale, just the elbows draw back, just a touch, just like a flower opening. So inhale, lifting to the center, and then exhale, opening out. Yeah, let's do one more like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, and then either stay still, so like a strong warrior lunge position, reach up, or you can move again, circling your wrists, circling your ankles. Sorry, not your ankles, your fingers and your thumbs. Good. One more deep breath here. Now straighten the legs as you take your hands to your heart. We'll come into our balance. So we're going to lean into that foot. And then lift the back leg up. Yeah, good. Lovely, everyone. Well done. So taking the knee out in front of you. Stay on one leg if you can. Don't worry if you drop it down. Just come back in again. Take the knee forward. And see if you can hold it there. Yeah, good. So wherever you are, wobbling, perfect. Some of you I know will be circling this leg. So you've got a little bit more practice in balancing. Holding the wall is fine. It's not cheating. It's just one way of doing it. Take another deep breath. And then land. Yes, good. So our last little standing bit today, we're going to go through the similar movements we were doing when we were sitting down, circling, but a little bit more dynamically. So again, if you lean back against the wall or you hold the back of a sofa or a chair, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's a good idea sometimes rather than feeling like you're going to fall over. So we're going to take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to turn the right toes out and the left toes in. So this right thigh bone rolling out as we bend that knee, left thigh bone rolling in. So how does that feel in the pelvis? Shift the weight from foot to foot. How does that feel? Yeah, and then once you've got something that feels comfortable, like your body weight is in the center, engage a little bit in your tummy muscles, and then float your arms up. So say float, so we're not like hunching the shoulder. So it can be quite soft. So look towards your right fingertips. Then we're going to do a little circling movement with the arm again. So if your left hand starts to get tired, you can bring the hand to the hip. If you're feeling strong, leave that left arm out. We're going to circle the right arm across the body 3 times. So up and around. Yeah, good. And again. Lovely. And then we're going to change direction and we're going to move with the breath. So as you inhale, exhale to the side, inhale to the top, exhale around. Last time, inhale, lift, exhale around. Good. Bring both hands to the hips, turn the feet in so they're parallel. And just give yourself a moment, just shift the weight from foot to foot. We're going to do the other side. So left toes turning out, right toes turning in. At this point, if you are moving quite dynamically, maybe you're feeling quite strong today, maybe you'll add that Ujjayi breath in, which might mean that you're moving slower than my instruction. And that's fine. You're always the best teacher. I'm just giving you a few ideas. So as you bend one knee, this thigh bone's rolling out, this thigh bone's rolling in. How does that feel for your pelvis? Maybe you've got one hip, like I was saying earlier, one hip that's like a bit of a grumbler. It's often one side that we have issues with. So postures like this, again, we can just make little adjustments just to adapt and exchange, change it up. Once you're there, lift your big toes so the arches of your feet active, thighs nice and strong. Float your arms up, breathe in, and then look to your left fingertips as you exhale. So holding it here, deep breaths. And we can rest the right arm if you're tired. Otherwise, keep that right arm out, strong but not hunching the shoulder. And we're going to circle the left arm, bring it in front of your body and up and around. It can be nice and gentle. 2 more, lifting up, rolling down, lifting up, rolling down. Then we're going to go back the other way with the breath. Inhale to the top of the circle. Exhale, coming down. Yeah, inhale to the top. Exhale around. Perfect. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. And then lift both arms up. Turn the feet parallel. Hands to the hips. Good. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. So just wider than hip distance. Just let your hips sway from side to side. And then make some circles with the hips. So this is another one of those movements where, a bit like with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, if you kind of maybe close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, just take the gaze down. As you go around in a circle, there might be a bit that you try and do quicker. And there might be a bit that you do slower because it feels nice. Yeah. So it's just checking in. Like, how is the mobility? A lot of our lower back issues can be treated, if you like, with thinking about the mobility of the hips. Likewise, the health of the feet feeds back up. So it's all connected. That's kind of what yoga means, kind of connect in order to calm the mind with a sense of unity and balance. So we'll come to our most dynamic bit of our practice today. You can turn it down, but I know some of you are quite strong, so we turn it up. And here, as you know, at Be Yoga, we don't put labels. Once you're over 60, you don't do this and that. You can do whatever you want, whatever age. The only thing that matters is that you have a steadiness and a joyfulness. So back into warrior, right knee above the ankle, left foot turns in slightly. Inhale, lift the arms, and then turn one palm back and one palm forward, and then change direction. So this is quite strong on the shoulders. It's like you're wringing out a towel. Yeah, wringing out a long, wet towel. So it's quite strong movement. Keep breathing. Do it once or twice more. And then we're going to come from here into sun warrior. Left hand drops down, right arm lifts up. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, take the arm over your head. Yeah, good. So we could circle here. Or if you prefer, you could hold your warrior posture. Yeah, so just see, what does the body want to do? Keep moving or stay still? You're in charge. Take another slow, deep breath wherever you are. And then we're coming from here to triangle. So we start to straighten the right leg. Bring the back foot in a little bit if you like. Take the right hand down onto the thigh. And then circle the left arm around. So notice how your body turns. And then lift your left arm up. And you can lean back against the wall here. Use your tummy muscles and just stay really light with the hips. So if you feel any pain in the hips, just come up. Yeah. If you're really strong, maybe your hands come down a little bit. Again, do you want to circle this arm or do you want to stay still? Keep breathing. 2 more deep breaths. It's very strong if you're going all the way. And then come up, take your time. Good. Okay, so hands to the center, feet parallel. Well done, guys. So going to the other side. Don't worry, this is like the power flow part. We're going to slow it down after this, if you want to. So turning the left toes out, right toes in. So sometimes when your legs are a bit warmer, you find you can take a wider stride. You don't really want your knee to come past your ankle. And again, just check in, is the pelvis still able to move so you don't feel locked? Inhale, take the arms out, turn one palm forward, one palm back, and then turn the hands. So if you keep this kind of in the wrists, it's probably quite nice. Good to move the fingers, keep the mobility there. If you start to take it into your shoulders, it's like wringing out that towel, that's when it starts to get a bit stronger. So it's like, yeah. And I always think of this practice as that kind of like flowers trying to get through the earth in the spring, it's like the shoulders are really tight, really stuck. So it's like, it's quite a fight to loosen up. Maybe not, maybe you're really loose. I always find my back muscles quite tight. And then come back to warrior, drop the right hand down, take the left arm up. And then your sun warrior, so it's a side stretch for that left side. Keep your right leg nice and strong. Check that the hips again still feel loose. Maybe circle this top arm around. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Do you want to keep moving or do you want to stay still? Maybe half close the eyes and let the body decide. One more breath. Coming back to the center. Yeah, good. So turn the toes in. Take the feet slightly further in and we'll come to triangle. So left toes turn out again. And this one you might want to lean back against the wall, yeah, especially if you're starting to feel a bit tired. So we're going to lift the left arm up again and then the tailbone, the hips move to the right as this left hand comes down. And you might start to straighten this left leg, but again, just check that the hip's okay. Keeping a tiny bend in the knee is fine. Lean the upper body back. Use your tummy muscles. Lift your right arm up. So again, do you want to stay still? This is fine. Some of you I know will maybe come down a little bit more. Make sure you still feel really steady through this right leg. Last 3 breaths here. You might want to circle as we have been doing. Round, maybe change direction, up and around. Yeah, good. Last deep breath. Coming back up. Yes, well done. Good. So turn the toes in. I'm going to bring the feet parallel. And here's again where you might want to use the wall to come into a forward bend. Yeah, because sometimes if you've got any blood pressure issues and you feel dizzy when your head goes below your heart, you can come down using the wall, and you can just come down as far as you like. Yeah. So take the feet out as wide as is comfortable. Feet parallel or toes slightly turned in. Again, just see how your lower back feels. And we're going to come down, forward bend, but we're just going to bend the knee, bend one knee and then the other as we come down. So, as always, choice to make it more dynamic. If you're holding onto the wall, you'll know when to stop. The breath will tell you. And then keep the weight even through both feet. Maybe you take your hands all the way to the ground and you bend your knees as much as you like. Don't worry if your hands don't touch the ground. You can use a cushion or your sofa or your bed. All we're interested in here is just a nice stretch up the back of the legs. Perhaps a feeling of openness at the lower back. And if you're okay with your head below your heart, relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Notice how your breathing's changed. Let something go. And then slowly come up. So walk the hands up the legs. Yeah, if you feel dizzy, stay still. If you feel okay, lift the arms up when you get to the top. And then breathe out, take the hands down. Perfect. So take your feet back together. And we're going to come to do our last standing posture. And we're going to be on the ground. So again, use the wall if you want to. So we're going to do tree pose. You can either have your back against the wall, or you can be turning sideways with your hand on the wall. Yeah, it's not cheating. It's just a different way of doing things. So especially if you've got some balance issues, using a wall will help to bring that strength to the leg without the fear. So coming onto the left foot, and take your arms out to the side and just see if you can circle your right knee round a couple of times. Perfect. Back the other way. And then you've got the choice. So you can have the heel just touching the ankle, or maybe the sole of the foot comes onto the calf. Some of you might have it on the inner thigh. Just be mindful that you don't kick the knee with your heel. And then bring your hands together. Maybe have a sense that the heels press down, the elbows lift, and the shoulder blades draw down. And we're just breathing here. Maybe with a softening around the face. Maybe that sense of rooting to the ground as you exhale. Floating to the sky as you inhale. Last few breaths here. If you want to take your branches out to meet the sunshine, go for it. Yeah, good. Wobbling is how we learn. Wobbling is how we build new brain patterns. So come back down, take the hands back in if they were out. Slowly extend your right leg. And then just with your feet apart, be still for a few moments. So many of my student friends tell me, especially in the 60 plus classes, and especially people who come to yoga when they're a little bit older, it's like they start to notice more and more of the body balancing, especially because one side is like, and then we remember that maybe we had a fractured ankle, or we had a sprain, and over the years the body finds a way to kind of deal with these things. But what we can kind of do with yoga when we work from the feet, as we come to the other side, left leg circles around, the body will always help to repair itself. So it doesn't matter if the injury that you've got is 30, 40, 50 or 60 years old, your skeleton is still renewing. your muscles are still renewing, whatever age. So come to rest the foot, either on the ankle or the calf, hands come together. So tree pose, sometimes a meditation posture. We sometimes see how long we can stay here. Maybe close your eyes, really challenge yourself. Again, last few breaths, you can take your branches out. Coming back in again, slow it down, last breath or two. And then gently release and take the foot down and left. Yeah, lovely. So slow, again, just that really gentle shift from side to side. Did you hold your breath while you were balancing? Take some slower, deeper breaths. And we're going to come down to do our floor practice. So I want to do one last little strengthening thing for the back of the body, and then the rest will be a bit more gentle and a nice long relaxation. So if you're feeling tired, don't worry, it's coming. So from the back of your mat, again, lift and spread your toes. Have a little bend in the knees, relax your shoulders, and then inhale, lift your arms up. As you exhale, take your hands down. Inhale, come forwards. You can come through downward dog, through plank position, or just make your way slowly onto your tummy. And feel free to use any padding or pillows that you need for your hips. So we're just going to come down, take the elbows out to the side, rest the forehead on the ground for a moment, relax here. And we're going to do just a little bit of back strength work. So point your toes, have the tops of your feet pressing down. And then first of all, just take your elbows forward of your shoulders. So your chest, your ribcage is touching the ground. And find a comfortable place for your legs. So you might have your feet parallel in line with your shoulders, your hips. Might take them a little bit closer together or a bit further apart. So try pressing the tops of your feet down, engaging your thigh muscles, and then relax your forehead down. Take your arms alongside your body. So have your palms up first of all. Press your feet down, engage the thighs, and see if you can lift the chest. Now, without using the arms. So keep breathing. If it's too strong, just rest and come back out. If you're okay now, use your arms. Maybe lift your arms up, turn the palms down, and press the feet down. So lifting up. Take your hands either side of the ribs, relax for a moment, and then roll one shoulder and then the other. So again, that circular movement, relieving tension. Relaxing your neck. So we'll do 3 little cobras. So now take the feet maybe a tiny bit closer together. Press the tops of the feet down. Press the hands down and lift up. Not very high. Just enough so that if you were to take your hands away, you could probably stay there just for a breath. Now if you feel strong, come forward. So it's as if your hands draw back to take your chest forward. Breathe deep, drop the chin to the chest and relax. Well done. So you might take a little recovery position out to the side. If you're okay weight bearing on your knees, you might come back into child's pose, maybe using a cushion or a blanket. Just come to rest for a few moments. Good. So we're going to come to sit. I've got a folded blanket and a cushion here. So I'm going to have, I've got a block as well, but you can just use a couple of cushions. So I'm just going to sit for a moment on my little prop, got blanket out in front of me. We're just going to take the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out to the side. So as I'm sitting on this block, when I move myself forward, my pelvis just tilts and then my back is kind of straight. My feet come forward. Use an extra cushion for your thigh bones if you need to. Yeah, if it feels like it's pulling on the groin, then do that. The feet are together. We come forward, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, we come down. And you don't have to go very far. It's quite comforting to hold your legs or your feet. Going to relax the tummy. Relax the back of your neck. And let go. As you're ready, slowly coming up. Well done. Take your head up last. And then very gently draw the legs together and straighten the legs out. So take your hands from the outside of your hips, just rolling in. So do that maybe a couple more times, rolling from the outside of the hips to the inside of the knees. And we'll do another twist before we come to lie down. So bending your left knee, your right hand down, left hand back. So maybe now going towards the last part of the practice, you notice that you can twist a little bit more than you did at the beginning. Maybe not. So twist actively, lift up, inhale, draw the belly in, exhale, shoulder blades together. And then once you're there, relax. So relax your back muscles. So if you can feel the breath moving. So that, what do I mean by that? And take your awareness into the ribs. And see if you can notice the breathing. Slowly release. Good. Let's twist to the other side. So bringing the other leg in, wrapping the opposite hand around. Hand comes back behind you, actively coming into it. So again, tailbone, crown of the head in one long line. Lift up, inhale. And then exhale, shoulder blades come together. Chin drops down for a moment. Eyes move around to the right. So when you bring your awareness into your rib cage, you can feel where your lungs are. And it might take practice, that's why we call it yoga practice. But the more you concentrate on what's going on in your body, the more you notice, the more you'll discover. Interoception, how we're aware of what's going on inside. So come out slowly when you're ready. Little counter twist to the other side. And then coming back to the center. So the last part of our practice is going to be relaxation. So I want to make sure that you are warm enough. So if you need this time to grab an extra layer, put some socks on, you might want to have your blanket and your pillow handy. And I really love to teach an inversion when I've got people in front of me, but because you guys are at home, just going to show you first of all, because I don't want you to be like halfway through and then turn your head, because obviously I'm not there to kind of keep an eye on you, keep you safe. Those of you who've got a bolster, you can use a bolster. I'm going to use a blanket and a cushion to make a little thing here. So I could fold the blanket around the cushion, which would make like a sort of sausagey shape, like a bolster. Some of you might use a rolled up towel in a bed pillow. That works really well as well. I'm just making this shape to support my lower back. So this feels comfortable in my experience for 95% of students, and some people, again, especially if you've got blood pressure issues, it just feels horrible. So as always, there's a choice. Yeah, if it doesn't feel nice, what I'm about to show you, you're going to come back down and have this at the back of your knees, and you're going to bring a cushion. I'm going to talk you through relaxation. Yeah? If you want to give it a go, you can take your lower back here. Some of you might be already there, eyes closed, arms out. We're going to come down so your upper back, your shoulders and your head are comfortably resting. And here's where you want to really make sure that you're breathing, everything's nice and soft. So it's a back bend. You can stay here for a few moments, move your feet maybe, and then your arms come out. So the last thing that you might do is have a little go at lifting your feet. And if you've got kind of that racing heartbeat, or it changes your blood pressure, doesn't make you feel great, you could try resting your feet maybe on the edge of the sofa instead. Yes, that might be less intense. If you're okay, and again, it takes practice. Sometimes the first time feels a bit funny and then it starts to feel wonderful. Lifting the feet into the air, having a little bend in the knees. And then if it feels comfortable, we're going to stay here for a while. We're going to stay here for a bit longer. I'm going to put some sound on in a moment, just a low on chant, just to help us slip into relaxation. So stay as you are, if you're comfortable. Maybe I'm not going to put some sound on. So if you've got your feet in the air still, we've got plenty of time. Inversions often can be deeply restorative when we spend a couple of minutes there. And you'll know when it's time to come out, because you feel it doesn't feel that comfortable anymore. So this part of our class, really more restorative yoga. It's a really good way to get your body into optimum place for healing. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to do nothing, but restorative yoga, yin yoga, the less you do, the more you get from the practice, and the more you can relax and come into a state of being rather than a state of doing. So if you're still in your inversion, another minute or so. If you feel like you want to come out, again, you can come to Shavasana, completely relaxing onto your back anytime you like. So if you've got your feet still in the air, just super slowly begin to bend your knees. Again, keep your head still. I'm not demonstrating this part. And go really slow, because sometimes when we're really relaxed, you can get that kind of curling in as the hips curl in. It can feel quite nice across the upper back. Your knees might come in towards your shoulders. And then ever so slowly rolling your cushion or your bolster away from your lower back. Take loads of time, no rush. And you might want to bring it to the back of your knees once you've had a moment with your lower back on the ground. Take your time. And from here, you're going to get yourself really comfortable for relaxation. So I'm going to stay sitting. I'm going to guide you through your relaxation. You're going to come to lie down in the most comfortable position, maybe grabbing an extra layer, lying on a pillow, having a blanket over you. Again, if you had a problem with your lower back, it's quite nice to have that at the back of your knees. Once you're beginning to settle, take one last slow, deep breath. And exhale. So you're really comfortable settling in. So the only movement now is the rise and fall of your breathing. And as you exhale, you feel the back of your body just sink down. Let go. The whole face relaxing. Jaw, the root of the tongue. The back of your head. Chest and shoulders sink down. All of the muscles of your arms. Bones rest down, the elbow joint, the wrist, the hand. All of your fingers and your thumbs relax. Softening your hips, feeling your whole back relax, pelvis, muscles of the legs, the bones, knees, the ankles, the feet and the toes relax. Allow your whole body to stay relaxed here for a few more minutes. As I talk less, your body might be still, but is your mind still moving? And if it is, that's very natural. Part of the practice in yoga is to gradually slow the thoughts and calm the mind, which might take many lifetimes. So you can keep your attention on the back of your body sinking with each exhale. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. Maybe this is enough for you today. Completely relaxed. If the thoughts keep on coming, some days they do, just picture with your eyes closed in your mind's eye a big circle shape. Could be a full moon, could be sunshine, any colour you like. As you breathe naturally, just trace around the edge of the circle from the bottom to the top as you inhale, and then from the top to the bottom as you exhale, just as a way of keeping your mind in this relaxation. you begin to deepen the breath. Then once again, your awareness and the ground underneath you, rise and fall of your breathing. And you might wake up gradually, moving into the space around you. You can always stay still if you just got to relax. You can just switch me off and have a little nap. Or you can close the practice with me, a little stretch out. And then whatever comes naturally, maybe rolling over onto your side for a few moments, keeping your eyes closed. Coming to a comfortable seat as we began our practice. So we start, move through the range of movement, breath, mindfulness, relaxation, and we come back to where we began. So let's take the arms out again in a circle. Inhale. And this time we'll take the thumbs together at the third eye to give thanks for sharing these teachings, an open mind. Take the thumbs to the heart. Let the thumb touch the breastbone and then hum here so the sound resonates around your body. Take a big breath in. Keep one hand on the heart, bring the other hand to the ground. As we give thanks for another day, and thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm just going to switch this off so that I can